When God is about to give you something big, there are unmistakable signs that you cannot ignore. Life will start to shift in ways that demand your attention and awaken your spirit. The first sign is divine preparation. You will notice doors opening, opportunities aligning, and circumstances arranging themselves in ways that seem almost too perfect to be mere coincidence. These are not coincidences. God is preparing you for the blessing, refining you for the responsibility that comes with it. You will feel a stirring within, a sense that your life is moving toward something far greater than anything you have experienced. When God is about to bring something significant into your life, the first thing you will notice is a season of preparation that cannot be ignored. This is not a random series of events, nor is it simply luck or coincidence. It is a deliberate, divine orchestration designed to equip you for the blessing that lies ahead. You may find that certain doors begin to open in your life, some long closed, while others you never imagined would exist suddenly present themselves as possibilities. At the same time, other opportunities or situations may start closing or fading away, and this too is part of the preparation. God knows what you need to step into, and He will remove what might hinder your growth or derail the purpose of the gift He is about to give. Every interaction, every conversation, and every experience begins to have a new significance, teaching you lessons that will be critical for the next chapter of your life. During this period, you will often feel a stirring in your spirit, a restlessness that cannot be ignored. It may feel uncomfortable at times, as if God is shaking loose what has held you back. This is part of the refining process, a way to stretch your faith and expand your capacity. You may find yourself being challenged in ways that seem inconvenient, overwhelming, or even unfair, yet each of these moments carries a hidden purpose. God is using them to teach patience, resilience, discernment, and wisdom, molding you into someone capable of handling what He is preparing to entrust to you. It is in these moments that character is built and readiness is formed. The preparation is not just external, it is internal, shaping your mindset, your heart, and your spirit to be aligned with God's will. You may also notice a pattern of synchronicity and alignment in your daily life. People may enter your world who will play pivotal roles in your breakthrough, and resources may appear at precisely the right moment. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach suddenly feel attainable. The real sign of divine preparation is not just the presence of these blessings, but your response to them. God is watching how you handle the small things, how you steward what is currently in your hands, and whether you are faithful in the ordinary before the extraordinary comes. This is a season of testing disguised as preparation, and it requires awareness, patience, and humility. During this time, prayer and reflection become your anchors. You will sense a greater urgency to seek guidance and direction from God. Scripture begins to speak with clarity you may not have experienced before, and your spiritual senses become more attuned to His voice. You start to recognize patterns, receive insights, and understand truths that previously eluded you. These are not mere coincidences, they are divine confirmations that your preparation is intentional and strategic. Every small victory, every lesson learned, and every closed door is a step in a larger plan that only God fully understands. The preparation often includes periods of waiting that test your faith and endurance. You may feel impatience, frustration, or even doubt at times, but these feelings are part of the process. They are designed to stretch your trust and reliance on God rather than your own understanding. As you navigate this period, you will notice that your priorities begin to shift. What once seemed important may lose its value, and you develop a new perspective on life that aligns with the purpose God is unveiling. The environment around you, the people you interact with, and even your personal routines may all change in subtle or dramatic ways, and each adjustment serves to position you perfectly for the blessing that is coming. The essence of divine preparation is that nothing is wasted. Every trial, delay, conversation, and challenge is being orchestrated to equip you, refine you, and position you to fully receive what God has prepared. It is a season of growth that demands vigilance, faith, and obedience, shaping you into someone capable of stewarding the gift that awaits. You will begin to recognize the signs of this preparation if you are attentive, open, and responsive to God's guidance. As God moves to bring something significant into your life, one of the unmistakable signs is a sudden intensification of clarity and focus. Suddenly, the fog that once clouded your decisions begins to lift, and you start seeing your path with a precision you have never experienced before. Choices that once seemed confusing or overwhelming now become obvious, and priorities that were scattered start to align. It is as if God Himself is shining a light on the next steps you are meant to take, illuminating opportunities while simultaneously revealing distractions that no longer serve your purpose. You will notice that your mind, which was previously consumed with doubt or uncertainty, begins to operate with newfound decisiveness, and your heart becomes aligned with the direction God is guiding you toward. During this period, distractions lose their grip on your attention. The things that used to pull you away from your purpose now seem irrelevant or inconsequential. Social pressures, fear of failure, and even well-meaning advice from others may no longer sway you because God is sharpening your focus. You begin to see the difference between what is necessary for your growth and what is merely noise. This clarity is not simply intellectual, it is spiritual, rooted in a deep sense of God's leading. Your instincts and discernment are heightened, allowing you to navigate situations with wisdom that seems beyond your natural ability. You will also notice a strong alignment between your vision and your actions. Tasks that once felt tedious or meaningless now carry weight because you can see how they contribute to the bigger picture. The sense of purpose becomes undeniable, and even mundane responsibilities take on significance because you understand how they fit into God's plan. Goals that were previously distant or unclear now feel attainable, and the steps to reach them are revealed in sequence. This intensification of focus is accompanied by a kind of inner peace. Despite challenges or uncertainties, you feel anchored because you know your direction is divinely guided. As clarity and focus deepen, decision-making becomes more effortless. You find yourself saying no to things that do not align with your purpose, and yes to opportunities that move you closer to the blessing God is preparing. This discernment is not about pride or arrogance, but about a heightened sensitivity to God's guidance. You begin to recognize subtle confirmations, coincidences that are actually divine nudges, and moments when God's hand is clearly at work. Your awareness of timing becomes sharper, and you understand that some things are meant to unfold gradually, while others require immediate action. This period also encourages you to let go of what no longer serves your journey. Old habits, unhelpful thought patterns, and relationships that drain your energy become easier to release because your mind is attuned to what is truly important. The clarity you receive is both revealing and purifying, stripping away what is unnecessary and sharpening your focus on what truly matters. You may find yourself setting boundaries more intentionally, prioritizing your spiritual growth, and pursuing actions that directly align with your calling. In this season, your creativity problem, solving, and vision for the future are heightened. You start to see solutions where before you saw obstacles, and paths that were previously hidden now become visible. Ideas flow with greater clarity, and you are able to execute plans with precision. God is aligning your heart, mind, and actions, ensuring that when the moment of breakthrough arrives, you are fully prepared to step into it with confidence and purpose. This intensification of clarity and focus is a sign that your preparation is working, that the pieces of your journey are falling into place, and that your next steps are not accidental but orchestrated with divine intention. When God is about to bring something significant into your life, one of the clearest signs is that your spiritual growth accelerates. You begin to sense a deeper hunger for His presence, a desire that goes beyond routine prayers or occasional reflection. What once felt like a casual connection to God now becomes a pressing need, and you find yourself seeking Him with greater intensity. Scripture, which may have once seemed distant or hard to understand, suddenly takes on new life. Verses resonate in your heart with clarity and authority, as if God is speaking directly to your situation. This acceleration is not merely about acquiring knowledge. It is about transformation, a reshaping of your character, perspective, and priorities in alignment with His will. During this season, prayer becomes more than words. It becomes a dialogue, a dynamic interaction where you sense God's guidance, wisdom, and reassurance. You may begin to pray with greater faith, boldness, and expectancy, knowing that your prayers are being heard and that God is actively preparing the way. Fasting, reflection, or other spiritual disciplines may take on new significance, and you notice that your heart is more sensitive to His promptings. Even when life is chaotic or challenges arise, your spirit begins to respond differently. Patience, trust, and endurance become more natural because your inner life is being strengthened. As your spiritual growth accelerates, your discernment sharpens. You begin to see truth and deception more clearly, not just in the world around you, but within yourself. Habits, thoughts, and attitudes that once went unnoticed are revealed, and you are compelled to confront them. This self-awareness is part of God's refining work, preparing you to steward the blessings that are coming. Relationships, conversations, and decisions are now viewed through a spiritual lens, allowing you to act with wisdom and integrity. You start to recognize what aligns with God's purposes and what distracts or hinders your progress. This acceleration also brings a greater sensitivity to the needs of others and a deeper understanding of God's heart. Compassion, mercy, and generosity begin to grow within you in ways that were previously dormant. You notice opportunities to serve, encourage, and uplift others, and these acts of obedience become channels through which God is preparing you for the greater responsibilities ahead. Your spiritual maturity begins to influence every area of your life, shaping your interactions, choices, and priorities. During this period, challenges and trials may intensify, but their effect is different than before. Where you may have once grown weary or discouraged, you now find strength and resilience. Obstacles become opportunities for growth, and difficulties become instruments God uses to deepen your faith and dependence on Him. You begin to understand that spiritual growth is not just about comfort or success, but about transformation, refinement, and alignment with God's eternal purposes. You will also notice a deepening sense of peace and assurance that cannot be explained by circumstances. Even when outcomes are uncertain, your spirit is anchored in the knowledge that God is actively at work in your life. The acceleration of spiritual growth is often accompanied by a clearer understanding of your calling and purpose. You begin to recognize the gifts, talents, and experiences God has given you as tools for His kingdom, and you are motivated to use them intentionally. As this season continues, your relationship with God becomes more intimate, your faith more resilient, and your spiritual insight more profound. The acceleration is a sign that God is preparing you for a greater level of responsibility, blessing, and influence. You begin to move with intention, guided by His wisdom, and equipped to navigate both the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead. Every moment of study, prayer, and obedience during this period compounds, shaping you into someone ready to receive and steward what God is about to release. When God is about to release something significant into your life, one of the unmistakable signs is that favor and alignment begin to appear in ways that cannot be ignored. Suddenly, circumstances seem to work in your favor. Doors that were long closed swing open, and connections with people who can influence your breakthrough seem almost divinely orchestrated. Opportunities arrive at the perfect time, and resources appear exactly when you need them, as if everything in your environment is being positioned to support the blessing God is preparing. This is not luck, coincidence, or mere timing. It is a deliberate alignment orchestrated by God, a sign that your life is entering a new season where His favor is active and visible. During this period, you may notice relationships taking on new significance. People who once seemed distant or unrelated to your goals suddenly become instrumental in helping you advance. Mentors, partners, or even casual acquaintances may offer guidance, support, or introductions that propel you forward. God uses these relationships to provide wisdom, encouragement, and opportunities that you could not achieve on your own. At the same time, situations that were obstacles or distractions may begin to dissolve. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable start to ease, and circumstances begin to align with your purpose, giving you a sense of momentum and clarity that indicates God's favor is active in your life. You will also notice a sense of timing that seems uncanny. Things that once required struggle or extensive effort now unfold more naturally. Opportunities appear at exactly the right moment, and you find yourself in the right place at the right time more often than before. This alignment is a confirmation that God is orchestrating events behind the scenes. It is a reminder that while you are responsible for your actions and decisions, His hand is actively arranging the pieces of your journey so that you can step into the blessing with confidence and readiness. During this season, you may also feel a growing sense of confidence and peace. Even when facing challenges, you recognize that God is paving the way for your breakthrough. You begin to understand that favor is not just about receiving blessings, but about being equipped to handle them with wisdom and integrity. This understanding encourages you to act with boldness, pursue opportunities without fear, and trust that God's alignment is perfect. Every small success, every open door, and every supportive encounter serves as evidence that God is actively working on your behalf, confirming that you are on the right path. As favor and alignment manifest, your decisions become easier and more purposeful. You begin to recognize which opportunities to pursue and which to pass on because God's guidance sharpens your discernment. What once required doubt, debate, or hesitation now comes with clarity and assurance. You begin to experience the benefits of walking in obedience and faithfulness, realizing that favor often accompanies those who are prepared, patient, and aligned with God's will. Each aligned opportunity reinforces the principle that God is not only concerned with the outcome, but with shaping your character to steward the blessing responsibly. During this time, you may also witness the multiplication of small efforts. Actions that previously seemed insignificant begin to yield disproportionate results. Your efforts are amplified, doors open with less resistance, and progress occurs faster than it did before. This is a hallmark of divine favor. God takes your faithfulness, your diligence, and your alignment and magnifies it to create momentum that positions you for something greater. The appearance of favor and alignment is unmistakable when you pay attention to the patterns around you. Circumstances begin to flow in a way that is almost too perfect to be random. Relationships form that advance your purpose, and resources appear at precisely the right time. It is a period that confirms God's active involvement in your life and signals that you are entering a season where your efforts, obedience, and faithfulness are being rewarded and positioned for a greater outcome. When God is about to bring something significant into your life, one of the clearest signs is the presence of peace amid challenges. You may find yourself facing trials, obstacles, or uncertainties that would normally cause fear, anxiety, or confusion, yet somehow a calm settles over your spirit. This peace is not dependent on circumstances or human understanding. It is a supernatural assurance that God is in control, orchestrating everything according to His perfect plan. Even when the world around you seems chaotic, your heart remains steady because you know deep within that the timing, the provision, and the path are divinely guided. During this season, you begin to respond differently to situations that once overwhelmed you. Where anxiety or panic might have dominated your thoughts in the past, you now approach difficulties with confidence and composure. Your perspective shifts from focusing on the problem to trusting the process. You recognize that challenges are not obstacles to your blessing, but rather instruments used by God to prepare you, refine your character, and strengthen your faith. This peace allows you to remain grounded even when circumstances seem to contradict the promise you sense is coming. You will also notice a heightened sense of trust. Decisions that once caused worry now feel easier because your spirit is anchored in the knowledge that God is at work. You begin to rely less on your own understanding or human solutions and more on divine guidance. Your prayers carry a new depth of faith, not begging God to intervene, but acknowledging that His plans are perfect and His timing is impeccable. This trust is not passive, it is active and dynamic, influencing how you respond, the choices you make, and the actions you take each day. During this period, external pressures may intensify, but their effect on you is different. Criticism, setbacks, or unexpected changes no longer shake your foundation. You remain centered, focused on the purpose God has placed in your life rather than the distractions or fears that arise. This peace is a gift that allows you to persevere without being consumed by stress or frustration. It is a sign that God is preparing you to handle greater responsibilities, blessings, and influence, equipping you to navigate challenges with wisdom, patience, and clarity. As you experience this peace, you also gain clarity in your priorities and decisions. Confusion and doubt lose their power because your mind and heart are aligned with God's direction. You begin to distinguish between what requires immediate attention and what can be left in God's hands. Your discernment becomes sharper, and you approach situations with a calm assurance that comes from knowing your steps are guided by divine wisdom. Even when answers are not immediately visible, you remain confident because you sense that God is working behind the scenes to bring about the perfect outcome. This peace also fosters resilience. Challenges that might have discouraged or defeated you in the past now become opportunities for growth and strengthening of your faith. You begin to see adversity as a refining process, a way to test your endurance, sharpen your character, and prepare you for the responsibilities and blessings that await. The storms of life no longer define you. Instead, they reveal the depth of your trust, the strength of your faith, and the maturity of your spirit. You may also notice that your interactions with others begin to reflect this peace, where frustration, impatience, or anger might have once surfaced. Now there is patience, gentleness, and understanding. Your calm presence becomes a testimony not only of the work God is doing in your life, but also of His ability to sustain you through trials. Others may be drawn to your composure, seeking insight or encouragement, and in this way, your peace becomes a channel for God's influence in the lives of those around you. This peace amid challenges is a profound indicator that God is preparing you for something greater. It is a sign that your faith is maturing, that your trust is being strengthened, and that you are being positioned to receive the promises He has in store. Even as trials continue, your confidence grows, your endurance increases, and your perspective shifts toward hope, expectation, and unwavering belief in God's perfect timing. When God is about to bring something significant into your life, one of the most powerful signs is that a sense of expectancy begins to emerge within you. This is more than simple hope or wishful thinking. It is a deep, unshakable awareness that something extraordinary is on the horizon. You begin to wake each day with a heightened sense of anticipation, as though your spirit is tuned to the rhythm of God's timing. Ordinary moments take on new significance, and even the smallest events or encounters start to feel like part of a larger divine plan. There is a subtle excitement that stirs within, a quiet certainty that the season of blessing is drawing near, and this feeling grows stronger as God continues to prepare the way. During this season, you may notice a shift in your outlook and attitude, where doubt or discouragement once lingered. Faith and expectation now dominate your thoughts. Your vision for the future becomes clearer, and you begin to see possibilities that were previously hidden. This sense of expectancy is not passive, it compels action, prompting you to pursue the opportunities and responsibilities that align with God's plans. You become more attentive to the guidance of the Holy Spirit, more disciplined in prayer and reflection, and more intentional in aligning your choices with the direction you sense God is leading you. As expectancy grows, so does your sensitivity to confirmation and signs. You begin to recognize patterns, coincidences, and moments of alignment that serve as reassurance that God is actively at work. People may say words of encouragement or give advice that resonates with a sudden clarity. Opportunities appear at precisely the right time, and challenges seem to carry lessons that equip you for what is coming. These confirmations strengthen your faith, affirm your preparation, and fuel the anticipation that continues to build within your heart. This emerging expectancy also brings a heightened focus on readiness. You start to evaluate your life, habits, and priorities, ensuring that you are positioned to fully receive the blessing that is approaching. Old fears, doubts, and distractions lose their power as you become more disciplined in thought, word, and action. You begin to understand that the breakthrough is not only about what God will do for you, but also about what He is shaping you to become in the process. Your character, faith, and perseverance are all being refined so that you can walk into this new season with integrity, humility, and wisdom. During this time, your prayers may take on a new intensity. They are no longer requests driven by uncertainty, but declarations of faith spoken with expectancy. You find yourself speaking boldly about your purpose, your vision, and the promises God has placed on your heart. Your prayers carry confidence because you sense that God is already moving, orchestrating the events, relationships, and resources needed to fulfill His plan. This expectation infuses your daily life with purpose, transforming routine tasks into steps of preparation and alignment for the blessing that is coming. A sense of expectancy also produces patience and endurance. Even when delays or obstacles arise, you do not despair or give in to frustration. Instead, you maintain a steadfast hope, knowing that God's timing is perfect and that every moment of preparation has a purpose. You develop resilience as you navigate uncertainty, understanding that the waiting period is shaping you, strengthening you, and positioning you to fully embrace the gift when it arrives. This period of expectancy often brings a heightened joy and gratitude, even before the blessing is fully realized. You begin to celebrate small victories, acknowledge divine provision, and recognize progress in areas of your life that were once stagnant. The very anticipation becomes a source of encouragement, motivating you to remain faithful, attentive, and ready. It awakens your spirit to the reality that God's promises are active, and that your breakthrough is not only possible, but inevitable. As this sense of expectancy continues to grow, it permeates every aspect of your life, influencing your thoughts, decisions, and actions. It fuels faith, sharpens focus, deepens spiritual connection, and strengthens character. It signals that God is orchestrating everything in perfect order and that the moment of blessing is drawing near. When these 7 signs appear, recognize them. Do not dismiss them, do not fear them, and do not let doubt steal your moment. God is about to give you something big, and He will do it in His perfect way, at His perfect time. Your responsibility is to walk in readiness, to remain faithful, and to position yourself as a vessel worthy of the gift that is coming.